Christopher Hitchens, The Trial of Henry Kissinger. Get ready to delve into the complex world of diplomacy with The Trial of Henry Kissinger by Christopher Hitchens. This book exposes the controversial story of Henry Kissinger, who actively sabotaged peace talks during the Vietnam War to further his career. You will explore Kissinger's involvement in war crimes through notorious operations like Speedy Express and Operation Menu. Discover the story behind United States international interventions to install leaders loyal to Washington, and Kissinger's role in the coup that brought down Salvador Allende in Chile. Finally, unravel the mystery of Kissinger Associates, which has ties to some of the most dubious political decisions Kissinger made during his years in office.
The Dark Scheme. During the 1968 peace talks in Paris to end the Vietnam War, one man, Henry Kissinger, was secretly feeding information to Republican Richard Nixon to help him win the election. Kissinger's scheme resulted in the failure of the talks and Nixon becoming president, prolonging the war for another 7 years, leading to several 100,000 more deaths. Kissinger's act was motivated by his desire for a better job under Nixon's administration, disregarding the lives that would be lost due to his actions. Kissinger's War Crimes. The book reveals unsettling details about Henry Kissinger's involvement in the Vietnam War. As National Security Advisor, he oversaw Operation Speedy Express and Operation Menu, both of which resulted in the intentional targeting and killing of civilians. Operation Speedy Express was conducted to clear the Mekong Delta of enemy troops, but only a small number of enemy weapons were found while roughly 11,000 Vietnamese were killed, including many innocent civilians. Operation Menu involved the bombing of targets in neighboring countries Cambodia and Laos, violating international law and resulting in the deaths of around 950,000 people, many of them civilians. These revelations expose the darker side of American foreign policy and the destruction caused by the decisions of those in power. Kissinger's role in Bangladesh's genocide. In the 1970s, Kissinger supported the Pakistani government in resisting Bangladeshi independence due to Pakistan's role as a U.S. ally and a communication link with China. Kissinger provided armaments to Pakistani forces, leading to atrocities committed in Bangladesh, including genocide and mutilation. Kissinger also played a part in undermining Bangladesh's elected government, including allegedly supporting a military coup that led to the assassination of the Bangladeshi leader. Kissinger's role in Chile's overthrow. The U.S.'s intervention in Latin America to install leaders loyal to them has been a common practice. One such event was the 1973 overthrow of Salvador Allende, the elected Marxist leader of Chile. Allende had been a target of U.S. plots since his election in 1970, and Kissinger was behind many of these plots and the eventual coup. When General Schneider refused to intervene and block Allende's election, the U.S. decided to get rid of Schneider. Kissinger had the CIA supply machine guns to 2 groups of army officers and paid them to kidnap Schneider, but they murdered him. With Schneider gone, the military led by General Pinochet could launch a coup against Allende. The aftereffect of the coup was brutal, and Allende's supporters were murdered across Chile and South America. Dictatorial regimes in Latin America joined forces in Operation Condor to torture, abduct, and kill dissidents across borders with the intelligence supplied by the CIA. Throughout the oppression, Kissinger remained updated about what Pinochet was doing and declared his friendship with the military dictator, although he never spoke about his role in the coup. The Unspoken Truth. After a meeting with Indonesian President Suharto, U.S. Secretary of State, Henry Kissinger, gave a green light to Indonesian forces to invade East Timor, leading to the death of 200,000 people. Kissinger pushed for increased support of Indonesia despite evidence of human rights violations and advocated for greater U.S. weapon exports to the country. U.S. law forbade Suharto to use the supplies for anything except defense, but they were still utilized in the invasion of East Timor. Kissinger actively avoids discussing his role in the genocide of the East Timorese population and does not include the dark chapter in his autobiography. Kissinger's dubious deals. After his political career, Kissinger founded Kissinger Associates, a company that advises clients globally. The firm's deals with Chinese and Indonesian governments have direct links to dubious political decisions Kissinger made while in office. Despite Tiananmen Square massacre, Kissinger stood by the Chinese government, and today, helping U.S. firms in China is a significant source of Kissinger Associates' income. In Indonesia, Kissinger formed a joint venture with the government in 1991 to exploit a massive gold and copper mine in East Timor, a place where he previously helped a dictator conduct massacres by supplying U.S. weapons. The questionable sources of income for Kissinger Associates are undeniable. Kissinger's War Crimes. The book highlights how Henry Kissinger, the former U.S. National Security Advisor and Secretary of State, is celebrated for his diplomacy despite committing war crimes that would have otherwise warranted international scrutiny. The author argues that Kissinger's involvement in several covert operations led to the assassination of foreign adversaries, delivery of arms to military groups committing genocide, and the deliberate killing of many civilians. The book raises questions about the double standards of international justice and how the U.S. government tends to overlook its own representatives' violations of human rights, citing the different treatment given to Japanese generals for giving commands similar to Kissinger's in Vietnam. Despite evidence pointing to Kissinger's culpability, the U.S. refuses to hold him responsible for his actions. While he currently enjoys safety in the U.S., Kissinger should exercise caution as courts in parts of Europe have issued orders to investigate his role in suspicious affairs.
The trial of Henry Kissinger has yet to commence, but as you've discovered in this eye-opening summary, there is ample evidence to charge him for his hand in countless atrocities. From sabotaging the Paris peace talks during the Vietnam War, to orchestrating military strategies that cost civilian lives, and even having a hand in countries like Bangladesh's war for independence, Kissinger's actions come under scrutiny. You've also seen how his questionable friendships with dictators such as Pinochet and Suharto led to further international issues. The conclusion is clear: Kissinger is far from being an untouchable figure, and future trials may change the way his actions are seen in the public eye.